myself and then, kind of get to know you a little bit better because we just met, so you don't know me. But I also want to point a few things out because I'm sure you can look around, you can see like there's cameras and stuff like that. Um, so I have a camera over there and there's one over there. And then the microphones are actually the ones that are they're like the little gray silver things above you. So we are recording what we talk about, okay? And the reason why we do that is so you don't have to talk to a whole bunch of people, okay? Because that's not something we really want you to have to do, okay? But before we get started, let me tell you my name. So my name is Danae, and you'll see me like taking notes and stuff on this piece of paper, and it's just because I don't want to forget anything. All right. But I'm not hiding anything from you. You can literally like look and see what I'm writing. You can ask to see it, and I'll show it to you. I'm just gonna shred it after we're done. Okay. So, what is your name?
Kylie.
Kylie. How are you spelling Kylie? How do you spell it?
Kiley.
Kylie. Okay. What's your last name?
Clap.
And is it Clapp?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Kylie, how old are you?
15.
15. And your birthday?
November 12th,
November 12th. Okay. And what year would that be?
2007.
2007. Cool. So you're a Scorpio, huh?
Yeah.
Me too. Okay. So November 12th, you got a birthday coming up. That's exciting. What grade are you in?
In 10th.
10th grade. You're almost there. And what school do you go to?
Osborne.
Osborne. Okay. Osborne. Does Osborne have an E at the end of it, or is it like because it's spelled differently in different areas? So
I don't spell
you
it with an E.
no E. Okay, cool. So I want to go over a few things with you, but before I do that, I just wanted to ask you some brief questions. So, have you been here before? Like to the Child Advocacy Center, do you know?
I'm not sure. They were saying they think I have been.
Okay. Do you remember it?
Not really, but I could have been.
Okay.
I end up in a lot of like places like this.
Okay. Okay. So, I I want to tell you a little. Do you know about what a child advocacy center is or what we do?
Um, I think I can use like context clues.
Okay. So, with the context clues, what, where, where's your brain going? What are you thinking?
Um, well, for children
Okay.
that aren't in good situations,
Okay.
maybe
Yeah.
then we
Sometimes.
need to
Yeah.
represent them.
Okay. Well, so what we do, and I'll tell you what we do here, and then what I do. Okay. So we basically provide a safe space for kids, teens, children, little ones, all the way from like sometimes even 2, 3 years old, all the way 16, 17 years old, to come and talk about whatever it is that they feel the need to talk about. And when I say it's a safe space, it's because there's nothing that they can say while they're talking to me that will get them in trouble with me. So I say that because it's important for them to know and for you to know that while you're talking to me, that you're not in trouble. You can literally use any words you want to use. You can use any language you want to use. You won't get in trouble for talking to me, okay? So those are important. And then if you look on the wall behind me, there's like some rules and stuff that are written. But I'll go over those with you
It's okay.
in a little bit. Well, I want to make sure like you kind of get it because I mean I I feel like you do get it,
I've
but
had this talk with a lot of people
Oh, like this exact same talk?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Okay. And where was that at?
I don't know. I've talked to a lot of like I don't know people.
Okay. Well, just so you know, I am not a therapist. Okay. Because I know sometimes people come here thinking that they're going to talk to a therapist. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a medical doctor. I don't work for the police department, and I'm not child protective services. Okay, so I just get to talk to kids all the time. All right, that's basically what I get to do. So tell me, Kylie, you said that you've talked to a lot of people and you've had this conversation. Um, Let me see. Before we actually like start talking about what it is that you're here to talk about, I just want to make sure that we're only talking about the things that are true and that really did happen. Okay. So when you're in here, will you only tell me those things? Will you only tell me?
Yeah.
Okay. So why? What is it that brought you here? Like, why are you here to talk to me today?
Um, because my dad made me.
Because your dad made you.
Because the detective kept calling him.
Okay. So, what was that about?
I don't know. I assumed that because it was the detective working on the case with my mom and sister and Moses, that it was in regard to that.
Okay. So there's a detective on a case that was calling your dad that said that you needed to come here to talk.
I guess so.
Okay. And you said that it was about your mom and your sister and Moses. Is that right?
That's what I assumed.
Okay. Um so tell me what you know about all of that, about that case.
That's kind of hard to like. It's kind of a lot.
Okay. Um so do you have something that you feel the need to share about that case?
Not really off the top of my head.
Okay. Did you have something that you felt the need to talk about beforehand?
No.
No. Okay. So when when you're talking about that case, that was with your mom and your sister. Remind me what your mom and your sister's names were.
Empress and Dorothy.
Empress and Dorothy. Okay. And Empress is your sister. Is that
Yeah.
right? Okay. Empress and Dorothy. Okay. And who was Moses?
He was my mom's like boyfriend.
Your mom's boyfriend. Okay. Um, did he go by another name or
Um, he went by Moses. His real name was Mustafa.
Mustafa? Okay. Do you know his last name?
Aljazairi. I
Okay.
don't know. It's not a common last name
Okay.
that I've seen a lot, and I'm not sure how to pronounce it.
Okay. But you call him Moses, is that right?
That's what he told us his name was.
Okay. Did you interact with him much?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about that.
Um. So the first week my mom knew him, she said he was stalking her, and I was like, okay, then stop telling him where we're staying in the room of where we're staying at, because we were kind of staying in like Motel 6, Red Roof, back and forth.
Mhm.
And I think she just liked the attention. But she was talking about how he would wait outside for her and blah blah blah, and like how it was creepy. And I was like, okay, stop entertaining it then.
Mhm.
And then she was like, do you want to meet him, stalker guy? And I was like, okay. So we went into the car and he gave me and my mom weed, and then we both got high and then we left. And I was like talking to him kind of. I didn't like him, and I was like kind of just being testy. I don't know if that makes sense,
Okay.
but
What does testy mean to you?
I don't know, like standoffish, and it
Okay.
wasn't like it's not hard to tell.
Okay.
Um, so then we left, and I was like, I don't like him. He's like weird,
Mhm.
and plus it's just weird to like I get going with my friend to like go meet this new guy she's messing with. That's weird when it's like your mom, and then
Mhm.
he's like all up on her and like.
Okay.
But then he would just buy her stuff like designer, and I was like, that's weird because he doesn't have a job. He sells stuff out of his car,
Mhm.
and I know he was like on. I want to say out on bail
Mhm.
for something at the time, or that's what I was told, that he was had whatever case with his ex for like beating her or something, and I was like, okay, you've known him a week, and you say that he stalks you, and you know this about him, so like obviously he's not really someone you want to be around. And then it was like what I noticed that he was like coming around more, but it was my mom was never really at home. She would kind of just leave my siblings in the hotel room all day, and I would go with her a lot of the times
Mhm.
cuz she liked having one of the older kids that's like once my sister left, she went to like rehab, then she went live with her dad. When she left, it was me, and she liked having like one of us as like her smoke buddies or something. So I would go with her a lot of places, and he would be there a lot of the time. And
Like to
I,
the places that you'd go.
yeah, or and then she started leaving me to watch the kids and stuff, which she didn't really care about someone watching the kids. It was just she wanted like alone time with him, so it annoyed me because like she was always out with him. But then, and I know he would take her places like I know he like got in a fight with some guy outside of 7-Eleven, I think, that like he had a knife or something, and Moses was gonna like swing on him just to swing on him, and I was like, this guy has a knife, like you're doing this for what? Like, and then he would take her places and just be really aggressive, like everywhere. He was just really like aggressive and violent. I remember my mom telling me once he threw a fit at some store and they had like one of those loudspeaker things,
Mhm.
and he started like going over the loudspeaker like cussing, and I, I don't even know. I wasn't there. That was just
Mhm.
what I was told, but it was ridiculous.
Where
And
was
then
that at? Do you know?
no idea. I think a restaurant or like a store or somewhere in the middle. I
Okay.
have no idea.
Mhm.
And then I don't know he would take her to like the casino, and he would gamble a lot, which I didn't like because I think people that gamble a lot at least are just stupid.
Okay.
And
Which casino would he take her to?
I think it was called Rosie's.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it was. I'm not sure exactly what a casino is. I'm pretty sure that's just the word for a place someone gambles.
Okay.
But um,
So when you were saying, so you said a minute ago that like he would get really aggressive and violent. Like what does that mean? Like what do you mean by that? How would he do that?
he just had like temper issues, and like you wouldn't necessarily see it as threatening, but
Mhm.
it's more how he says, and you can tell that his intentions with saying it aren't like he was really passive aggressive. I don't know if that's the word for it.
Okay. Do you have an example that you can think of?
Like I don't know, like I don't know.
And it's okay if you don't know. Okay. It's perfectly okay. Um. So you were saying your siblings. You told me about your sister. Who are the other siblings?
Well, I have an older sister. She's like 17.
Okay.
She's in Florida.
Okay. What's her name?
Ava.
Okay. Ava. Okay. And what's Ava's last name? Same last name or different?
I have no
You
idea.
don't. Okay. It's okay if you don't. Do you ever get to talk to Ava?
Um, I talked to her a couple months ago.
Okay. Okay. What's that relationship like?
I mean, it's okay. The last like year that I saw her, she was just like my mom kind of got her hooked on drugs, and when she started, she never stopped. So it wasn't really like her.
Mhm. Okay. And then do you have other siblings?
Three brothers. One's like 13. His name is Jalen, and then
Jalen.
there's Imagine, who's I want to say 10.
Jalen, 13, 10. Okay.
And Pharaoh, who is 8 or 9. There's a lot of them, so it's kind of hard to. I know their birthdays, but not really the years.
Okay. Yeah, and it's okay. You don't have to tell me their birthday, but I just want to make sure I know who you're talking about when you say somebody's name.
I'm just used to them having me tell them like their name,
Hmm.
birthday,
Yeah.
everything.
When you say them, who are you talking about?
Well, usually CPS.
Oh, okay.
I know you said you weren't,
Yeah,
but
no.
still, it's just
Yeah, you're used to it. I get it. So, you said, and correct me if I get something wrong, okay? Because that's really important. I don't want to get anything wrong, and I want you to make sure that I get everything right. So, when your mom met Moses, she had told you that he was stalking her. Is that
yeah.
right? Um, and when was this? When did your mom actually meet him? Do you know?
I wanna say late January.
Okay. Of when? Like this year,
Yeah,
last
this
year?
year.
Of this year?
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. So late January this year. And then you said that you guys stayed at different motels. It was like the Motel 6, the Red Roof Inn. Any other places that you can remember?
I know she sometimes went to this place off of Balls Ford. I
Uh-huh.
don't even know where it was. I know once we stayed, really anywhere we could stay.
Yeah. What town were you in or what city?
Dumfries.
Dumfries. Okay. Were all of these in Dumfries? All of the motels in Dumfries?
Um, the ones we stayed at the most, yeah,
Okay.
but otherwise it was kind of all over.
Okay.
Sometimes we were in Fredericksburg, sometimes like Manassas,
Mhm.
Dumfries, like it depends.
Okay. Now you said that she told you that he was stalking her. Did she tell you any more information about that? Like what all do you know about that?
Oh, I know she would just say that like he would hit her up a lot.
What does that mean? Hit her up.
Sorry,
It's okay.
like he would text her a lot, and she would kind of be like,
Oh, okay.
leave me alone.
Yeah, yeah.
And she would like, he would text her. He's like, come out. Let me come see you. Blah blah blah. Like, leave your kids, blah blah, blah or whatever. Like,
Mhm.
and then he would like wait outside for her for hours
From outside where?
of the motel.
Of the motel.
Even if he didn't know what room we were staying in, he would kind of just like hang out there.
Okay. And how do you know that?
Um, my mom told
Your
me.
mom told you. Okay. Did you ever see him do something like that?
I've seen his car there a couple of times, and I've seen her leave and go get in his car and go. But then she kind of started like, I don't know, actually hanging out with him. I was like, okay. So she kind of dropped the stalking thing.
Mhm. And did she ever say anything to you about being afraid or scared of him?
Yeah, it was like, cause it depended.
Okay.
Sometimes you could tell she was. Sometimes she would talk about it, and other times, like, once I started to like recognize his behavior, it got really scary for me to like. I don't know. She's had men like that around us all her life, but like she finally stopped like dating for a little bit, so I thought like things were gonna be different.
Mhm.
And I called her like, and I would tell her like, I don't want him around me. I don't want him around you. I don't want him around the kids. And if you're gonna keep him around you, at least just don't bring him around the kids. And she just ended up eventually just choosing him and stopping
Mhm.
talking to me. But I know before, like when he first met the kids, he lived in Fredericksburg or Stafford or something, I
Mhm.
believe, and we were staying at a hotel in Stafford, like I said,
Okay.
and I mean not Stafford, Fredericksburg,
Mhm.
or somewhere down that way,
Mhm.
and we were all there, and she kept bringing him up, and it was annoying. It was like having a boy crazy friend, except it's your mom,
Mhm.
and she talked about how he was gonna come see her, blah blah blah. They were gonna go hang out at the pool. This hotel had a pool, and we like okay, but don't do that around them or don't have them like. And he was waiting outside for her while she was distracted and the door was cracked. He just like walked in, and I was like you can't do that. And then he starts talking to the kids. My little sister off the bat didn't like him, but
Mhm.
like he was talking to my little brothers about like video games and superheroes and stuff. Naturally, they were like, "Oh, he's so cool," blah blah blah. And then like he kind of just sucked up to them for the rest of the night. Then he stayed there to watch them. So I told my mom, "Can we go somewhere and get something?" Because I was trying to get away from him because I didn't like him. And I'm sorry.
It's okay.
And we stayed in the car for like, I don't know. I was high, but we stayed in the car for like an hour. And my sister was just like, my little sister was just like bawling, crying, and like she's like, I don't like him. I don't want to go in there and be with him. Blah blah. Keep in mind she's like 5, so it's like more toddlery.
Mhm.
And my mom was just yelling at her like, "Oh, so you just don't want your mom to be happy? Mom can't have fun." Blah blah blah. And I was like pissed off, but I was also high, so I was kind of just sitting there
Mhm.
and listening. And like eventually she dragged my little sister in, who was having like a full like toddler breakdown. And I don't know if you have kids, but I'm sure you've seen that
Mhm.
from kids. And then we brought her into the room. She was like hiding behind the bed from him.
Mhm.
cool. I didn't want to be there with them. I had already swam earlier and I just didn't want to be around him. But I know he was like smacking my mom's ass and doing like weird shit like that in front of the kids. And I was like, that's so disrespectful and gross. And like, mom, you've known this guy 2 weeks. Like, get it together. But then he comes back in the room and he's still like, the boys are getting along with him. And then I told my mom, I was like, I don't want him here all night. I want him gone. And she was like, yeah, 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 I'll tell him to go, blah, blah, blah. He goes, I'm pretty sure he overheard or he saw me like looking at her and being like, and he was like, boy, kids, raise your hand if you want me to stay the night. And all the boys are like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And they raise their hand. And then he just looks at my mom, who now is like, if I say no, all my kids are gonna be mad at me. I mean, not all of them, but the boys. And then I was like, no, like, do you even see the way he did that? Not even like he asked you privately if it was okay. Like he just used your kids to like manipulate his way into it. And she was like, no, 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 I'll tell him to leave. And I went to bed, and I woke up and he was there, and I was really fucking annoyed. And then the next day we left. He, I was like trying to get them to get together. So you know you have to check out by a certain time, and I was like, okay, we need to get everything and leave because we were kind of moving in and out of hotel rooms. It was like we had a lot of stuff to pack. Like our whole lives were in those hotel rooms. I mean, not necessarily me because I was back and forth between my dad was living in a hotel and my mom was, so I was back and forth. But they all had their stuff. And he was like, no, 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 no. He just tried to have my mom, smoke with him, lay down with him, cuddle with him. I was like, okay, we need to go. Like, he had the kids in the pool, and I was like, really annoyed. And he just undermined everything I did, and it was like really annoying because I don't know. I kind of had to manage all of them because even if my mom tried, she was like, she would get like frustrated and she would stop. Like when they wouldn't listen one time, she'd just like break down crying and just, I'm sick of this shit, blah blah blah. And then it wouldn't get done if I didn't do anything. And then him doing that was like annoying because he thought he had authority over me, and it was just like weird. And then like after he had met the kids once, he would be around all the time. So then we came back and I was like, I want him gone. I like, can we just have it a family day? He followed us back and like we got to the red roof. Somehow we got kicked out of Motel 6. I don't know how you get kicked out of Motel 6, but it happened. And he like comes up into the car and I was like, Mom, get rid of him so we can go out. Let's go do something. Like it's a nice day. I want to go do something. Like, and I've been pissed off all day because of him. So I want to like, and she's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. He comes into the car while she's like getting the hotel room, and he's like, oh, so you're gonna watch the kids? And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, you're gonna babysit, blah blah blah. And I was like, got him out of the car, and I went up to her. I was like, no. He just came. Like I was really mad because I was just like, why would you do that? Like, why would you? Like, I don't know. Him having like he didn't have authority over me, but him thinking that he did, or even like it just was really frustrating. And but then he didn't leave. We just stayed there for the rest of the night. And then we got food from Wegmans, and I told everyone, every single one of them. First of all, like there was a couple beds in there. Nobody go on this bed. This is mine. And they're willing they were really dirty. They would mess up hotel rooms. They were just really dirty. I didn't want anyone touching my bed. And so I said, don't touch this bed, and don't touch this bag of food. And I wrote my name on the bag of food, and I don't. No one touched this bed. I told him too, and I said, everyone, no, and everyone knew to listen to me because I was the kids and everyone, I did the most authority things there, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
And so I told them this food is for you, and make it this way or make it this way, and don't do this. I'm going out. Don't touch my food. Don't touch my bed. And don't touch my stuff. And they all said okay because they know if they don't listen, I'd be really mad, and no one's enjoyable to be around when they're mad.
Mhm.
And so I go out, and he stayed there to watch them. And there was one specific thing in my bag too that I told them all, don't eat. I'm eating this for dinner, and I was really excited to eat it. It was like one of those meals from Wegmans, and it looked really good. And I get really excited about food. I really like food, so and I come back, and he was there. He heard all this because he was staying with them.
Mhm.
And I come back, and he's laying in my bed, shoes on, eating that exact meal that I told everyone not to eat. He doesn't even finish it,
Mhm.
and leaves it open on my bed.
Mhm.
And then when I came back, he was just a dick about it. It made me really mad, and I came back, and I was like, for whatever reason, him and her were arguing. For whatever reason, he was mad at me because I'm pretty sure I started yelling at him. I don't know. This was February, but I was also high all the time, and it was really hard to I don't know. It's hard to get myself to remember some of that stuff because it kind
Mhm.
of was just
Yeah.
a really bad time.
And remember, it's okay to say that you don't remember, that you forgot, okay?
Yeah, and
So when I asked you about whether or not your mom told you if she said that she was scared or was fearful of him at all, correct me if I'm wrong. You said that she did. Was that right?
it
Or
was okay. What I was just telling you.
mhm.
Sorry,
No,
I
it's
I
okay.
talk a lot because
It's okay.
like
Yeah. Yeah. This is a safe space for you to talk. This is what this room's about. To talk whatever you feel
yeah,
the need to talk about.
and I kind of get distracted, but there's a point to where I'm going.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It just
Yeah.
takes me a little bit to
Okay.
get there.
Yeah, I'll listen. Yeah.
But
That's what I'm here for.
so basically he just got progressively more and more there and overbearing, and it
Mhm.
kind of felt like he acknowledged the fact that I had a lot of authority in the family because I took care of the kids a lot, took care of my mom a lot.
Mhm.
I took care of everything a lot. I put a lot of money into that. And um it felt like everything he did was kind of like a power play with me, if that
Mhm.
makes sense. Like he just wanted to be I don't know. And it was annoying because I knew that my mom kind of valued her boyfriends, even though she had known them for 2 weeks, more than she valued the kids and taking care of everything. And so it was frustrating. And then
Mhm.
I started to realize he was around a lot more. And I don't know, I guess I kind of was freaking out, and I would call my mom a lot to try and get her to come pick me up to be spend more time with her away from him, and kind of try and convince myself, I guess, that he wasn't. It's weird, and I don't know why, but and then I started to realize every single time she would come pick me up with him, with him, with him, and I would be like really fucking annoyed.
Mhm.
And then I had like sorry, I'm thinking of a specific time, and I thought of that it was in. Oh, one of the times I called my mom. I was like, "Hey, can we just have like a little hangout by ourselves?" And then she came with him, and we were supposed to go get food, and I was really annoyed because like she doesn't even pay attention to me when she's with him. And we went to go get food at some like truck, and she went like he went out to get the food, and I told my mom like I don't want him here. I want him gone. And I didn't want to like. Can you have him drop us off at like your car or something so that we can go out? And then she's like, no, blah blah blah. And then he gets back in, and he's like, just like I don't know. When I was around him, like I just like my throat dropped to my stomach. I just felt really uncomfortable and really unsafe. And so we get to the Dollar Tree. We went there for something. We shopped there a lot because we didn't really have a lot of money.
Mhm.
And I didn't go in with them. I waited in the car, and I was just thinking about him and everything. And I was just really like scared. And I'm not really sure why. It was just like when I say it out loud, it sounds like nothing, like what he does. But it was like I don't know. I just knew nothing good was gonna come of it. And sometimes I get really bad like episodes, like panic attacks. So I started having like a panic attack in his car, and I was like crying, screaming, like I could barely breathe. I was like hysterical.
Mhm.
They get back in the car, and he's like, I'm getting rid of her or something. He said something. He was started to drop me off, drive me back to the other hotel, to where my dad stayed. Um, and we get there. Whole time I'm still having a panic attack, horrible, in his back seat, and he's just making jokes, laughing about it with my mom, like, which when something really like I don't know how to explain the feeling when I'm having those, but it's really not good.
Mhm.
And when you feel like that, and then that's what's going on, and then that's also the guy that I could tell was gonna like nothing good was. I don't know, like it freaked me out even more. And so basically, the way the hotel was you couldn't get in without a key card. I had a key card. I opened the car door. And keep in mind it's like 12 a.m. He zooms off, doesn't even let me close the door before he leaves. It's 12 a.m. I'm hysterical crying. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to get into the hotel in Woodbridge. Like, they don't even check to see if I get inside safe. Like, it just. I mean, she's never really done that, but it was so, like, she didn't even. It was just annoying. And then, like, this other time. This was when he started, like. So I had gotten in a fight, like, with this girl at school. And I got suspended, obviously.
Okay.
And, it sounds bad. It really does sound bad, but I was just like, I don't know. It was a really bad time in my life, and this girl made me like really mad.
Mhm.
And cause so my mom picked me up. We get to the car. I was like, "Where's the car?" I realized he was there. And at first he's like making jokes, laughing about it. Cause when I tell the story of why I did it and why I, it's very clearly valid for me to be upset. Maybe not to react with violence, but to be very upset. I think it was absolutely valid.
Okay.
And but my mom is the type to, oh yeah, she deserved it. I would have punched her in her shit too. And I was like, not the best influence to have,
Mhm.
parental wise, but it. So they were like joking about it and like laughing. They saw the video and blah blah blah. But then he started to be like behind my back. He knew I didn't like him, and he made comments about it all the time, but very like comments that aren't really direct,
Mhm.
if that makes sense. Like he's more hinting at it than like being straight up with it. I'm sorry, I don't know how to talk like in a way that's. I just realized I use a lot of slang as I'm talking to you.
I'm good with it. I'll let you know if I don't understand what you're talking about.
And he would start to say to her like, because I would make a lot of comments like that too. Cause I can I can be really passive aggressive. I'm a teenage girl. Like
Mhm.
it's gonna happen. And I didn't like him, and I saw him as this like really big threat. And so obviously I wasn't very like, I don't know. And it was like he was just really immature too. Like it was like he never he never moved out of with his parents. He never had kids. He didn't even have a job. Like he never really had a reason to grow up. So I guess he just never did.
Mhm.
And it was like talking to him, I realized was like talking to a guy my age,
Mhm.
which is fine until you realize you're talking to a 30-year-old man.
Mhm. So I have a few questions for you, okay?
Yeah.
And I don't want you to feel like I'm stopping you from talking because you can tell me whatever you want to tell me. I'm here to listen to you, okay? But I do have a couple of follow up questions for you. All right.
Okay.
So when you said that he was aggressive and violent, did you ever see him get aggressive?
Um, I've seen videos of him getting in fights, like swinging at people for no reason.
Mhm.
Even when he wasn't like aggressive in the sense of like hitting someone,
Mhm.
when he got mad, he drove crazy. He throw stuff. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like
Were you ever around him when he got mad?
sometimes, a lot of the times they would like go outside or
Mhm.
at a certain like I was only there for a little bit of it because at a certain point she just I gave her a choice and she chose him.
Okay. When you say that he would get mad, he would drive crazy, were you ever in the car when he drove crazy?
Um, I've been with him when he's driven like a little crazy,
Mhm.
but there's times that my mother's told me about that I wasn't there for.
Okay. What did your mother tell you?
She was telling me about how they were driving crazy or something after the casino, and she told me how it got to the point that she was like that he was driving so crazy that she was gonna call the neighbor and say like I don't know if I'm gonna make it home tonight.
Okay. And when was that?
I think in February.
Okay.
I think.
What neighbor did she call? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Okay.
It was either her neighbor or her friend, but
Who's
she
her?
didn't have a lot of friends.
Okay.
So,
What was her friend's name? Do you know?
um, the main friend I know about's name was Tanisha.
Tanisha.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know Tanisha's last name?
No.
Okay. So, did she tell you directly that on the way home from the casino that he was driving crazy?
to me afterwards.
Okay. And when you say driving crazy, did she say what that meant?
Like, I don't know. She said she was scared. She was either gonna crash, swerve off the road, like flip over, but I'm not really sure what exactly he was doing.
Okay. Um, and have you ever been in the car when he's driven like that?
Not as bad as she was saying.
Not as bad as she was saying. Okay. Has she talked to you about him driving crazy more than once?
I think so,
Okay.
but I could be wrong.
Okay. And it's okay if you don't know or if you forgot. Okay. So.
It's kind of hard to like. It's stuff that doesn't really seem important at the time,
Mhm.
so it's kind of hard to know at the time to remember it because it's gonna be important later.
Yeah, I understand. And then you said that sometimes he would get violent.
I know
Um,
that like he beat his ex to a pulp.
okay.
Apparently, I had known he had like gone in fights, and I the very last time I talked to my sister, um, I hadn't talked to them in a while
Mhm.
because this was before she had fully like made it clear that she chose him, but she like ghosted me to be with him because he would tell her stuff like, "Oh, that's not your daughter. That's a devil." Blah blah blah. And because I would always be calling, and I'd be like, "Can you come see me? Can you not bring him? Can you blah blah blah?" And he didn't like it.
Mhm.
And um, the last time I saw them, they were in a fight, and my mom was like bitching the whole time about what he did and what he said and blah blah blah. And then I had to go help her take stuff out of storage because they were in a fight, so he wouldn't. And while my mom was in the gas station, because we were getting gas, because we had to go to like West Virginia, I'm pretty sure. And my sister told me I had a video of it. I'm not sure if I have a video of it anymore, but it was telling me that they would like he would hit the kids and like she was just telling me that he would hit them, he would hit mom, and my mom never admitted it to me, but she admitted it to her friends and to other people, but she would never admit it to me because I'd be like, I told you so, and you're with this guy, and
Mhm.
you're like making this choice, and then choosing him over like.
When you say that you have a video of it, what was it that you had or you think you had the video of?
Oh, I had the video of my baby sister telling me.
Oh,
Because
okay.
when she started to tell me, I was like, this is probably something I should get on record.
Okay. And what did you record that on?
On my phone, like Snapchat, but I saved it to my camera roll. And
Okay.
then when my mom had, when she had like genuinely chosen him over me and blocked me, like I had gone, I was like, okay, if I'm not gonna be around to that I think I can protect them from him,
Mhm.
then I'm doing something about it. So I went and I called the cops, the non emergency number, and I
Mhm.
showed them that video and told them that he was hitting them and everything. I never got a call back about it and nothing was done, I'm pretty sure. But
Which when you called the cops, you said you called the non-emergency number.
yeah.
What police department was that?
I believe Manassas
Manassas.
or maybe Prince William,
Okay.
one of the two.
And what did you call on?
I think it was Prince William actually. But
Okay.
like my phone,
Is it the same cell phone that you have now?
yeah.
Okay. Um, and what is your phone number?
703-475-3654.
Okay. And then you said you called the non-emergency number.
The
And
police. It wasn't like,
yeah,
yeah,
okay. And then you said that you showed the video to somebody.
to the police.
Okay. And when the police, where were you when you showed the video to the police?
I was like at a store kind of in front of my neighborhood,
Do you know what the name of that store is?
Harris Teeter,
You were at Harris Teeter.
in like marketplace off Liberia.
Okay. And did the police officer meet you there, or
Yeah.
did you? Okay. So, do you remember the officer's name?
No, that was back in March, I want to say.
Okay. Okay. And let's see. Was there someone with you other than the police officer that
No, I
you
was
showed
by
that to?
myself.
You were by yourself. Okay. And you said that it was recorded on Snapchat, right?
Yeah.
What is your Snapchat username?
Kylie Shay with two A's.
Kylie Shay. So
But
it's
oh, SHEA.
S
Sorry.
H A A. Okay. Um,
Well, I believe I recorded it on Snapchat.
okay. But you said you saved it to your camera roll too,
Yeah.
right? What kind of phone do you have?
An iPhone 13.
Okay. Um, and correct me if I'm wrong. You said it is the phone that you have now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, and do you recall ever deleting that from your camera roll?
I might still have it, but I know that it was really hard for me to keep certain stuff
Mhm.
at certain points when I was just like, I very much could have been really upset thinking about my sister and then just deleted it.
Okay. And correct me if I'm wrong. You said that this was your baby sister, and that who you're talking about is Empress, right?
Yeah.
Who was telling you about what Moses was doing,
Yeah.
and that was about him being aggressive and violent. Is that right?
Yeah.
And correct me if I get something wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I also know that it got to the point where he was being so aggressive and violent, and that my siblings were so scared that I believe my little brother Pharaoh or Javen or both of them, I'm not sure, and my little sister like stabbed him with a fork because they were so like scared of him.
You said stabbed him with a fork.
Yeah,
Okay.
or with like something silverware. Like,
Okay. Were you there when that happened?
no, it was something I heard about.
Okay. So the call that you made to the cops though was in sometime in March, you think?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Um. Okay. And then you had mentioned that every now and then you would smoke with your mom, right?
Yeah.
Was he was he ever around when you guys did that?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay.
The first time I met him was he gave me and my mom drugs.
Okay. So tell me more about him giving you drugs.
So that was the one time that he specifically gave it to me personally was just the one time.
Okay.
But I know that he had given my mom weed and we would smoke it together, and am pretty sure he was aware of it.
Okay.
But
Tell me about the time that he specifically gave you the drugs.
so it was like, I mean, there's not too much to it.
Mhm.
We They were very new. This was still when she was saying he was stalking her.
Okay.
And
And correct me if I'm wrong. You said that was around when they were
January.
January and they had seen each other for about 2 weeks or something.
No, this was the first week they met.
Okay. Thank you for correcting me. That's exactly what I need you to do. Okay. So the first week that they met, what did he give you?
It was just weed.
It was
I
weed.
never
Okay.
did, like, sometimes he I don't know if it was him or if it was my mom. I tried mushrooms like twice that my mom had given me, but I don't know if it was from him. I didn't like it, and I never did anything harder than that. My mom would try it, but I wouldn't because of.
Okay. Okay. Have you ever seen him do something to your mom directly?
No, like hitting her.
Anything
Um,
other than the stuff that you've been telling me about. You've told me quite a bit about his interactions, but like, have you ever seen him hurt your mom in any way or do something to your mom that would cause fear or concern for others?
to like besides like arguing and like doing stuff like you know getting aggressive, but not in the way that he's hitting her or
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. No, because I was kind of checked out at a certain point.
Okay. Did you ever see with your own eyes like him do something to any of your siblings?
No, I was gone at that point, and he would never do anything like that in front of me because it
Okay.
wouldn't turn out well for him.
Okay. Did you did your mom ever tell you something? Did your mom ever tell you if he ever threatened her?
Um, it would be like not direct threats, but it's like if you do this, you know what's gonna happen. Blah blah blah. Like, you know
What?
what I'm trying to say?
Um, yeah, but I want to make sure that I know exactly. Like, so when you say blah blah blah,
It's
what do you,
like
like? What do you? It, I know that sometimes some of the stuff, like the exact words, might be really difficult to remember. But help me, like, tell me the things that you do remember that he has said.
the best I can do for you with that at least is like give you something similar to what he probably said, but any
Okay.
direct, I mean exact like words,
Okay.
I don't think I know anything verbatim.
Okay. So tell me what your mom told you.
My mom told me, I mean, she um at a certain point she would stop telling me stuff cuz she knew she wasn't going to get rid of him, and she knew the more she told me, the more I would tell her like you need to use your head and see what this guy is doing.
Mhm.
And um but she would tell me only when she was mad at him or when they were arguing, and she was still really selective of what she told me. And it was more just like she would tell me he'd like stalk her location, and when they'd argue that he'd just get crazy. I can't really think of any examples because it was
Okay.
more, I don't know, once everything kind of like stopped, I kind of just really only wanted to forget about it.
Yeah, I understand. The okay. Trying to think of my next question here. Did he ever make any threats towards you?
Um, no, I think he kind of knew I'm not really the type that kind of like, even if he's a grown man, I'm not really the type that would roll over and take that. And like, I did the way I said, you know how I told you he had a lot of power plays?
Mhm.
I also made it very clear that I don't care if he was with my mom and he could make her like, even if she would tell me listen to him. I don't know if this sounds bad cuz she's my mom and I should listen to her, but it was like I wouldn't have.
Mhm.
And it was more just for me, my priority was taking care of my siblings and trying to get my mom to do that, because it was less about taking care of my mom and more about making sure that she'd be in a place where she could take care of my siblings because I wasn't there all the time.
Mhm.
and I was back and forth between my mom's and my dad's, and I had school with my dad, so I couldn't be there all the time.
Gotcha.
And they weren't in school for like 3 years, so they were there all the time.
Mhm. When was the last time that you had um, interacted with Moses?
Um, I wanna say sometime in March. I had asked my mom to come get me. I was like a couple nights before she had sent me home with a bag full of like vodka and weed and then a thing of mushrooms, but I never took them because I don't like them. And I had taken like I hadn't taken it yet. I was like called my mom. I was like, "Can you come get me?" I like I don't know. I just wanted to leave. I remember, and she came with him, and I was like, I don't want to be with him. And she was like, well, if you don't want him around, then you're not coming. Just stay home. And I was like, okay. So they got here, and I was like, you know what, fine. I just want to go see my siblings. And then they got here, and it was different when he was there. And it was like, it wasn't like they came inside. I just saw their car outside, and I just started to freak out. And I don't know why, but then I just never came out. She got really mad, and my dad was like in the window telling them to fuck off,
Mhm.
and because he was drunk and he didn't like Moses, and it was silly.
Okay.
And that was the last like interaction I
Mhm.
had with
Um.
any of them.
Okay. Was that the last interaction you had with your mom as well, or no?
Well, we had talked on the phone, and she told me that because of that I was playing games, and she was done, and blah blah blah, and I could hear him in the background like talking shit about me. It was just,
Mhm.
and then I basically it was clear that we were done with each other, and I think we both blocked each other. And at that point is when I had called the non-emergency number.
Okay. So that was in March.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know if do you know if your mom kept like a diary or
I
a journal or anything?
no. There was
Okay.
no way she did that.
Okay. Do you keep a diary or a journal of anything?
No.
No. Did you write any of this stuff down anywhere that you can think of?
No, I'm not good at like I don't have a good attention span.
Okay.
So I couldn't really sit there and write all this down.
Okay. Um, did you communicate with anybody else about what was going on with Moses through your phone, like through any other social media or?
Um at the time,
Mhm. Or now or whenever.
I mean now I've texted like on Instagram. I don't talk to many people about stuff like that, so
Okay.
it's hard for me to like think of an example.
Okay.
Probably not until now, and it's probably the same stuff that I've told you.
Okay. And what's your Instagram account?
The same as my Snapchat.
Okay. Okay. Is there anything else you can think of, even if you think it's not that important, that you feel like you want to tell me?
Um, well, with like, I'm really sorry.
It's
I've been
it's
up since like
okay.
6 a.m.
Yeah, yeah. And
and
if you're, you know, When you get to that point and you're ready to stop, just let me know, okay?
And I will. I'm just like
Okay.
thinking about this, and then I also have to go into work after this,
Okay.
and I'm also really tired. So it's like
Yeah.
I have a lot of things.
Sure.
But and I also just haven't thought about this in a really,
Yeah.
at least in detail, in a really long time.
Sure.
And well, I know that the night it happened, the
Mhm.
crash.
Mhm.
I know that what made well, he's made comments about how my mom always. This is what made me think like I think it was on purpose, even if he didn't premeditate it. I think it was on purpose.
Okay.
Was that first of all, he had already had my mom to get rid of me, and the only other person that was so like evident, clear about that's I'm looking for the right word. That's probably not the right word, but like
Okay.
so like outward and direct about not wanting him there was my baby sister. And he's
Okay.
made comments about how she always sits behind my mom in the car. And also, so my mom, she really wasn't a very good person. She was cheating on him with her ex boyfriend, who she had moved next door into. And he would argue, her ex boyfriend's name was Glenn. She had moved next door to him with Moses. They knew who each other was and about each other.
Mhm.
Glenn knew that Moses was who Moses was and that he lived there. Moses didn't know who Glenn was because if he did, they'd probably kill each other. But like their bedroom window looked directly into his bedroom window with his baby mama, and I know they were still seeing each other and like hooking up and stuff. And so I'm pretty sure that that night he found out about that, or that Glenn had lived right there, is what my mom's friend told me. And so that day was my mom's birthday.
Mhm.
So they were gonna go see his grave. I mean
Okay.
her grave. I'm sorry. And my brothers asked to go and he wouldn't let them. And he said only my mom and my little sister. And there's plenty of room in the car. There's plenty of so if they wanted to go see their grandmother's grave, why wouldn't he let them
Mhm.
on her like
And how did you know about all of that?
because my mom's neighbor was there
Mhm.
for part of it and my siblings told me about that part.
Okay. And what's your mom's neighbor name? Do you know?
That's Tanisha.
Oh, that's Tanisha. Okay. Um, and you said that you knew that they were seeing each other.
Yeah.
When you say they, who are you talking about?
My mom and her ex-boyfriend Glenn.
Okay, so you knew that your mom and Glenn were still seeing each other.
Yeah.
Okay. And you said you're pretty sure that Moses found out about that?
That's what I was told. Was
Okay.
that
So do you know if Moses found out about that?
um
Like firsthand?
like for a fact I was there? No.
Okay.
But what I was told, yeah.
Okay. And okay. You said something about that he made comments about your baby sister always sitting behind your mom. Is
Yeah.
that correct? Did he make those? Who did he make those comments to?
My siblings
Okay.
and my mom. Or my mom and her friend.
Okay. Did he ever make those comments to you?
No, but he's made
Okay.
other comments like that.
Like what?
Just like about my sister, how she'll like refuses to be near him, doesn't like him and stuff.
Okay. What would he say about her not liking him? What would what in what context?
don't know. He would bring it up out of nowhere, cause it was visible that she didn't, and he would just make comments about it. Like, I don't know. I can't think of like, I don't know.
Okay. And it's okay if you don't know. Um, can you think of anything else before I step out?
Uh, no.
No. Okay. So, Kylie, I'm going to step out for just a second, okay? I'm going to see if there's any other follow up questions, and then I'll come right back in, okay?
Okay.
Um,
What time is it today?
I don't know.
It's um
Yeah, we don't have a clock in here. But I can find out. What's your concern?
my shift starts at 4, so I would just need to at least call them and tell them I'm gonna be late.
Okay, where do you work at?
Off Liberia checkers.
Checkers at off. Okay, off Liberia. Okay. Let me go real quick, okay? And I'll come right back. All right?
Okay.
couple follow up questions for you, okay?
Okay.
Um, so, um, let's see. Um, on your phone that you have now, right? You were saying that it might still be there,
It could be, but I
but
do
you're not
think
sure.
I
Okay.
think I deleted
Okay.
it.
Would you um would you be willing to share that information with the detective that's here um to try to at least see if it's there, and if so to share it with them?
Yeah, I can check.
Okay. And so after we're done, and then if you have any questions as well, because I've been asking you a ton of questions for a really long time, you're more than welcome to ask questions too. Okay, so you can ask them of me, or then you can even ask the detective that's currently here. Okay, but that way they can at least see if it's still there. We'll try to figure that out. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, Okay. Um, has another reason why we talked a lot about a lot of stuff. Okay, we talked mostly about what had happened with your mom and your baby sister, and Moses. Um, Another reason why um, kids and teens they come in here is because we do like to make sure that they're safe, like currently, or have had the chance to talk about if something else has ever happened to them. Okay, so one of the things that we do talk about is that body safety piece. So I want to find out from you if anyone has ever tried to touch you in a way that you did not want them to, or that was inappropriate, um, that you wanted to talk about.
No.
No. Okay. Um, so I noticed that your facial expression and your body language has changed a little. Can you tell me a little bit about that? No. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to leave it open for you to come back if you want to. Okay. Um, if that's something that you're willing to do because maybe you have more that you'd like to add to what we've already talked about, or maybe there's something else that you're not quite ready to talk about, would you be willing to come back to talk to me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to leave that open for you to come back if you'd like to. Okay. And we can make sure that you get in whenever you're ready or whenever you want. Okay.
Okay.
If something were to happen in the future, okay, whether it's your physical safety, your psychological safety, whatever, who are some people that some adults that you trust and that you feel like you can go to with that information? Who can you tell?
Mm, maybe like my manager.
Okay. Your manager at work?
Work. Yeah.
Okay. And what's their name?
Karen and Anthony.
Do you have a good relationship with Karen and Anthony?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel comfortable telling them if something were to happen to you? Okay. Is there anyone else that you can think of that you feel okay telling?
Mm,
No. Do you feel safe where you are now?
yeah, I'm fine.
You're fine? Okay. Um, would you, is there anyone in your home that you live in now that you feel comfortable talking to or telling?
No, it's not like I'm unsafe, but it's not like a good dynamic there. I'm
Okay.
just not like in danger.
Okay. No, I understand. Okay. Um, so maybe give me the names two other people that you feel like you can tell outside of your work? Do you have anyone else?
I have friends.
You have friends? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Any grown-ups?
Not
Adults?
really.
No. Okay. Would you feel comfortable talking to someone like me about something like that? Do you have any questions for me about what we've talked about?
No.
Okay. So, if you don't have any questions for me, I think I'm finished with my questions. Okay. So, what we'll do is I'll take you back, and then you'll get a chance to meet with the detective that's here. Okay. Do you
Okay.
feel comfortable doing that?
Yeah, just yeah.
Okay. Because I know that you gotta. I know that you gotta go to work too. Okay.
Yeah, I
So
can
I'm
let them know I'll be late.
okay. So I'm keeping that in mind as well. And if you need maybe the advocate to help you do anything like that, you can talk to Karen about, maybe what you can do. Okay. And if you need a note or something like that, we've got that for you too. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for talking to me today. All right. Let's go.